Hi there yogis, welcome to Two Birds. I'm Fiona, and today's class is a 60-minute move, breathe and flow class. A continuous style Vinyasa flow, emphasizing your movement, rhythm and breath, so you can find an inner state of meditation and also centered awareness. So I hope you enjoy. Thanks so much for joining, and don't forget to subscribe if you've been watching and you're enjoying the videos. Send me a comment, a request or a thumbs up if you like it. Thanks so much. Namaste. And begin your practice at the back of your mat, taking child's pose, balasana, knees out wide to the side and your big toes to touch. And extend forward through your arms, taking your little fingers to the edges of the mat and spreading equally through the fingers. So there's an active energy running all the way along your arms. Your forearms are up away from the mat, all the way down to the armpits, down the sides of the waist to your hips. As you reach forward, equally reach back through the buttocks to the heels. And let your belly soften between your thighs. And bow your head in. And begin to breathe with purpose. A deliberate breath in and out, slow and unhurried. Directing your breath into the front and back of your lungs, so you feel your ribs move laterally with each breath in. And you can feel your belly soften toward the floor as you breathe out. And take 5 deep breaths in and out. Establishing a balanced breath. And on your next breath in, coming up into tabletop, just slide the hands back underneath your shoulders and take the knees hip distance apart underneath your hips. A few rounds of cat and cow, gently arching the spine, sending the gaze up and softening your belly. And as you breathe out, round the spine, hugging in and up through the abdominals. And a few more rounds, arching and rounding. Making full contact with your hands, your shins and the tops of your feet. And coming back to a neutral spine, keeping your hips above your knees, making your way into Anahatanasana, heart opening pose. Nice prep for downward facing dog, so finding that shape in your upper body from the hips all the way down to your hands as you walk them forward. Your ears may fall a little below your arms, but if you do have tight shoulders, just keep them in line there. Hands can be a little wider if you like to free up the shoulders and the sides of the neck. And then tilt your sit bones toward the ceiling, so you spread your sit bones, stretch forward long through your arms. And then breathing in, gazing forward, melting down onto the belly and onto your forearms to set up for a simple back bend Sphinx pose. Elbows just a little forward of your shoulders, palms face down, legs engaged. Gently peel up so you have a uniform arch through your spine, avoiding pinching in the low back. As you draw your ribs forward, you widen your collarbones, gaze just falls gently forward so the back of your neck is unwrinkled. And take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, peel down toward the floor, hands by your ribs, elbows tucking in, Pressing back into downward facing dog. Hips up and back, a little bend in your knees. And then adjust yourself so you have an alignment to your bones. There's a straight line from your shoulders down to your wrists. There's a feeling of space between your fingers. Length through the sides of your waist. And then equally stretching down through your heels. Feel free to pedal out through your heels or sway your hips a little. Heels can be lifted or grounded. And taking one more deep breath in, a little soft bend in the knees as you gaze forward between the hands. Walk yourself forward to the top edge of your mat, bringing your big toes to touch. When you arrive, take a halfway lift, hands to the shins, extending your spine. And as you exhale, forward fold, deep bend in the knees, release all the way down to the crown of your head. As you inhale, slowly rise, sweep the arms out and up. Send your gaze up. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Lightly bow your chin in. 2 rounds of Surya Namaskar A to warm up through the spine, the shoulders, the hips. Take a deep breath in, send the arms up overhead, gazing up to the tip of the thumbs. Exhale, swan dive forward or over the legs. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, looking forward. And as you exhale, land the hands, step back to plank pose, top of your push-up. Take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, first go knees down, then your chest and your chin all the way to the belly. As you inhale, cobra pose, a mild arch through the spine. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. 5 to 8 deep breaths in and out. Encouraging your breath to feel long and smooth. Texture of your breath equal on the inhale and on the exhale. Your jaw soft and relaxed. And second round, eyes forward. End of your exhale, bend the knees, step lightly forward to the top edge of the mat, placing your feet together, Ardha Uttanasana coming up halfway. Exhale to fold Uttanasana. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale your hands to your heart. Inhale, arms sweep overhead, gaze up. Exhale, dive forward over the legs, Uttanasana. Breathing in, gazing forward, extending your spine. Exhale, land your hands, step quietly back to plank pose. Legs strong, abs engaged, inhale here. Exhale, either full push-up or lower your knees, your chest and your chin to the floor. Inhale, low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. 5 to 8 deep breaths. Releasing all the way down your spine to the crown of your head. So you can feel your ears lining up with your arms. You can feel your arm muscles engaged around the arm bones. And keeping your weight more toward the index finger and thumb, taking the heat out of the wrists. And from here, stepping your big toes to touch. Breathing in, raise your right leg up and back. And as you breathe out, step forward to a high lunge. Right foot in the right lane, little bend in the back knee as you rise up. Arms reach up alongside your ears. Stay here for the exhale, get comfortable. So you want your pelvis to be quite level here, your hips to be square to the front edge of your mat. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, take the hands down either side of your front foot and then walk a quarter turn to your left. Pivot the feet, heels out, toes in, fingertips underneath the shoulders. Breathe in, take a halfway lift, and as you exhale, forward fold in between your wide legs, and pause there for a few breaths. If you do have very tight hamstrings, they are quite large, dense muscles, so please place a little bend in the knees if you need to. A light rock forward from your heels to your toes may bring some more balance to the stretch all the way up the back of your legs. Coming up onto the fingertips as you breathe in, gaze forward. As you breathe out, take your hands to your hips, elbows squeeze back behind you, and as you breathe in, come all the way up. Turning to face the front of your foot at the top edge of the mat, warrior two. Lunge deep through the front leg. You should have a fairly wide stride there. If you feel like you can lengthen a little deeper between the feet, you can, working toward a right ankle through the front knee. Just making sure your right toes are pointing forward. Left toes lightly turn in, back leg sharp and straight. And then settling your gaze over your right middle finger, feeling your shoulders melt away from your ears. From here, moving into side angle, hinge out over that front bent knee. Place your right forearm down on your right knee, left hand sweeping up toward the ceiling. Breathe deeply here, and if it doesn't bother your neck, you can turn your gaze up to the top of your left thumb. We're going to repeat this cycle over a few times, just finding your alignment here, aligning your bones, balancing your breath, finding ease. Hands to the floor here to frame your front foot. Pop up on the back toes and make your way into low lunge, setting the back knee down and sweeping your arms up alongside your ears. Couple of breaths here. Chest proud and uplifted. Lower ribs lifting up out of the hips. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, take the hands to the floor and step back through a vinyasa to your high push-up. Breathe in. Low push-up as you breathe out. Upward dog or cobra as you breathe in. Downward dog for your out breath. 5 to 8 breaths here. Relaxing the expression in your face so your jaw feels unhinged. You can sense your breath moving in and out through the nostrils. Bring your toes together at the back of your mat, raising your left leg up and back as you breathe in. Step forward to a high lunge as you breathe out. Let your in-breath sweep you up, arms up, torso upright. Stay here as you breathe out, finding comfort in your low back, bringing the pelvis into balance, perhaps a little bend in your back knee. Stay steady on the balls of your back toes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hands to the floor. Walk a quarter turn to your right now. Hands underneath the shoulders, halfway lift as you breathe in. Forward fold as you breathe out. And you can walk your fingertips back to line up with your big toes. But if you are quite tight through the back body, just stay on the fingertips, or you can catch opposite elbows with a little soft bend in the knees. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Exhaling, hands to your hips. Breathing in to come all the way up, warrior two on your left foot now. Left toes point forward, right toes point in. Keep your long stride, lunge deep. Maintaining your armpits over the hips there, your torso upright, chest uplifted, tailbone lengthening down, so there's a feeling of length all the way through your spine to the back of your skull. Light stretch through the inner thighs. Coming into Parsvakonasana, side angle pose, left forearm rests on your left knee, right arm sweeps up toward the ceiling, and just really slowly sending your gaze up, keeping contact with your right foot on the mat. Deep breath in, hands to the floor, gaze down, low lunge, back knee to the floor, arms rise when you steady. Gently stretching into the hip flexors here. And hands to the floor. Take a vinyasa here, stepping back to your high push-up, low push-up chaturanga, upward dog or cobra, and downward facing dog. Take a pause, breathe deep, unhurried, deliberately. Really connecting with the feeling tone of your breath and the space it creates in your body. We'll do a couple more rounds like that, just flowing, one movement, one breath. Please skip the vinyasas if you like to do less today in your practice. Bringing your toes together at the back of the mat, reach your right leg up and back. And as you breathe out, high lunge. Arms rise as you breathe in. Hands to the floor as you breathe out. Walking a quarter turn to your left, spread leg forward fold. Inhale, fingertips underneath the shoulders, flat back, straight legs. Exhale, two fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, hands to the hips. Inhale, rise, torso upright, warrior two, right side. Lunge deep, turn your right toes forward. Side angle pose, either forearm to your knee, left arm straight up, or go a little deeper here. Just keep it flowing, hands to the floor, eyes down, low lunge, back knee to the floor. Reach your arms up, press down with everything you've got in contact with the mat. And exhale, hands to the floor. Vinyasa, stepping back, high push-up, low push-up, upward dog or cobra, downward facing dog. And we'll keep it flowing. Bring your toes together there at the back of the mat. Left leg rising as you breathe in. Step forward between your hands, high lunge. Arms rise as you breathe in. Hands to the floor as you breathe out. Quarter turn to your right. Spin the heels out, halfway lift. Strong straight legs and fold. With your breath, lift your torso halfway. Hands to the hips, breathe out. All the way up, breathe in. Left side, warrior two, turn your left toes forward, lunge deep, arms out wide. Side angle pose, left forearm, left knee, right arm straight up, extend and straighten that right leg. Eyes down, hands down, low lunge. Back knee to the floor. Arms rise as you breathe in. Hands to the floor as you breathe out. We'll step back to downward facing dog here. A half flow, rippling forward to a high push-up, and then go ahead, hover the knees and the hips up and back to downward facing dog, rippling through the spine. You can take a full flow here or pause and rest, do less. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. settling the pace and cadence of your breath now. And one more round. Toes together, right leg rising as you breathe in. Right foot forward, high lunge, breathing out. Arms rise as you breathe in. Hands to the floor as you breathe out. Quarter turn to your left. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Rise again halfway. Breathe out, hands to the hips. All the way up, breathe in. Right side warrior two, breathe out. Side angle pose, come down a little deeper if you like. Top arm can reach out and overhead, just flowing with your breath. Hands to the floor, eyes down, low lunge. And either a half flow or a full flow, pardon me. Take your time and we'll meet up in downward facing dog. Keep breathing, moving fluidly, building strength in each vinyasa. Toes together, back of the mat, left leg rising as you breathe in. Left foot forward, high lunge yogis as you breathe out. Arms rise as you breathe in. Hands to the floor, breathe out. Walk a quarter turn to your right. Heels out, toes in, legs strong, halfway lift. And fold. Halfway lift. Hands to the hips. All the way up. Keep breathing, warrior two, left side. Side angle pose. Lengthen through both sides of your waist. Right arm can reach up and over. Eyes down, hands down, low lunge, back knee to the floor, engaging your right glutes and hamstring muscles. And hands to the floor, either a half flow or a full flow. Moving with your breath. All meeting up in downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. And you might find now that you are a little warmer through the spine, the shoulders, the legs. You might find that you can take a longer stride between your hands and your feet. And settle in 5 deep breaths. And from here we are going to hop into Malasana at the top edge of the mat. You can bring your toes together, a little bend in the knees, and a bunny hop, lifting the hips, taking the feet wide at the top edge of your mat. Big toes turn out and sit down any amount on the back of your legs. You might come all the way down, you might come down halfway and rest your forearms to your knees. Just find a comfortable spot. Hands to the heart center, chin lightly bows in, 5 deep breaths. And releasing the fingertips to the floor, parallel your feet so they come hip width apart now. Hook onto your big toes with your peace fingers and thumbs. As you breathe in, extend through your spine, work towards straightening the legs. And as you exhale, elbows out to the side and fold. And as you fold, just to avoid any pulling on your low back spine, lay your torso on your thighs, even if you bend your knees here. Releasing from the base of your spine all the way down to the crown of your head. Three deep breaths. Keeping the bind, inhale Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, release the bind and fold over your legs. Bend your knees, come into Utkatasana, chair pose. Pause here as you breathe out, your hips sink down, abdominals engage. Lean your weight back so you're heavier in your heels, light and fluffy in the toes. Press your palms here, lower your hands to your heart center. Take another big breath in, fill up, and then twist. Right elbow hooking to the outside of your left knee. Left shoulder rolls back, so there's a straight line elbow to elbow. And if you are a little tweaky in the low back spine, nice variation here is just to take your right forearm in front of the knees, left hand to the small of your back. And twisting with integrity. So you're really filling up and expanding through the ribs as you breathe in, you're making space. And then firm abdominal muscles gently twisting, revolving in your range of motion. Coming back to chair as you breathe in, arms alongside your ears. And as you exhale, forward fold over your legs. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Step your right foot back for pyramid pose. Shorter stride than your warrior. Left foot can move over in the left lane. We're going to come all the way up as you breathe in. As you breathe out, forward fold over the midline of your left leg. And you want to make sure your right leg's super straight. Your quads are engaged, outer edge of your heel grounded. Left knee could have a little light bend in it, depending on your flexibility, and do flatten out through the low back so you feel balanced in the pelvis. As you forward fold, 3 deep breaths. Actively pressing down through your feet. Breathing in, come up halfway, a bend in your front knee, step your right foot further back, warrior 2. Just to transition, open the arms out wide to a T. And then straighten your front leg, make your way into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Left hand down, right hand to the sky. Aligning your bones, right shoulder over the left shoulder. Aligning your breath, equal and steady. Trying to find that space in your body where there is the least amount of effort. Taking your right hand to your right hip now, left hand to the floor ahead of your left toes for half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. As you raise your right leg, flex your toes and turn your torso out to your right. And again, aiming to stack the bones. Feel your right hip over the left hip, right shoulder over the left shoulder. Eyes down. And foot down, top edge of the mat. Toes come together, halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale and fold. And then a halfway lift as you breathe in. Walk your feet nice and wide and come back into Malasana Yogi Squat. Perhaps coming down a little further or just checking in with your knees and staying a little bit more elevated. There's an option to come into Bakasana here. Hands can come down if you're wanting to get a little bit of air. Send your gaze forward, dome your spine, and walk your knees as high as you can up on your upper arms. Keep your elbows at a right angle, gaze forward, maybe lift one foot and then the next. Just here for a moment. Don't hold your breath. And land lightly. Feet come to hip distance apart here. And we'll take gorilla arms, just taking the palms of your hands now underneath the soles of your feet. A bend in your knees, but do lengthen your spine as you come halfway up. And exhale, forward fold a little closer toward your legs, elbows down, shoulder heads lift up away from the mat. Find space around your neck, sense of ease in the facial muscles. Breathing smooth. And keeping your feet on your hands, take a halfway lift. And as you exhale, release the hands. We just stretched out through the back of the wrists there. Bring your toes together if you haven't already. Coming into chair pose, drop your hips and reach your arms. Stay here as you breathe out. Finding that upward energy through your upper body, through the reach of your arms. And a grounding energy down through the heels as the hips sink down. Press your palms here and go ahead, take a twist to your right, left elbow hooking now outside of your right thigh. Straight line from elbow to elbow. And feel full length through the spine, from your tailbone all the way to the back of your skull. You're breathing in deeply to create space with the ribs in between each vertebra before you revolve. Back to chair pose as you breathe in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Halfway lift, breathe in. Step your left foot back for pyramid pose as you breathe out. And adjust your right foot to the right before rising up. Bring the torso upright, reach the arms, and then prayer hands through the heart and forward fold over the midline of your right leg. And as you gaze down toward your right leg, just check those quad muscles are engaged. They're lifting up your kneecap. You're pressing down through the big toe mound of your right foot. And your left leg feels engaged, steady. And then just letting your breath inform your fold. Finding a little bit more space as you breathe in. And folding a little deeper as you breathe out. And place a little bend in the front knee, step your back foot further back so you get a long stride setting up for warrior two. Arms open out wide, gaze is steady, just transitioning here, straighten through both legs and making your way into triangle pose. Reach your bottom arm down to your shin, the foot or the floor there, reach your left arm up. And when you arrive, give everything a little bit of length and space with your breath. Reaching out from fingertip to fingertip. Energetically pushing down through your feet. Engage through the legs. Half moon pose here, left hand to your left hip, right hand down to the floor. And slowly start to float your left foot up. Flex your toes. It's the opposite of pointing. Keep the lifted leg engaged rather than soggy. It'll give you a little bit more balance and buoyancy. If you're feeling steady, you can turn your gaze up. Do it slow. Breathing smooth. Eyes down, land lightly, the top edge of your mat, toes come together. Take a halfway lift, reset, and forward fold over the legs. Rise all the way to stand as you breathe in. And settle your hands to your heart as you breathe out. Deep breath in, arms sweep up and overhead. Exhale, dive forward over your legs. We'll keep it flowing, halfway lift as you breathe in. Step your right foot back as you breathe out, find runner's lunge. We'll take a simple twist, keeping your right hand down, left hand to the sky. Aligning your bones, left shoulder over the right shoulder, hips level. Breathing smooth with a balanced breath. Deep breath in. Exhale, both hands to the floor and drop your right knee to the floor for low lunge. Arms sweep up and overhead. And as you exhale, both hands to the inside of your front foot. Walk your left foot over into the left lane and turn your left toes out. So one option here is to keep the right hand on the floor. Left hand can shift to the inner left knee or thigh. And you're gently encouraging your left knee out to the side. Another option, if you're feeling open in the quads, you can reach back with the left hand, bend your right knee, catch a hold of your right foot. Nice quad stretch here. Deep stretch into the hip flexors and the adductors. Gently releasing, tapping the right foot down to the floor. Reframe your front foot, and we're going to send the left leg up and back, down dog splits. And then pointing the left toes, bending the left knee, finding another quad stretch here on this side. Left knee points toward the ceiling, your left heel toward your right buttocks. Try and stay balanced through your shoulders and press equally through your hands. Squaring off your hips now, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, step lightly forward for high lunge. Just here to transition, reach the arms when you arrive, breathe in. Bring your hands to your heart as you breathe out. Coming into warrior three, tipping lightly forward and floating your back leg. So you can float at any amount. Do flex your toes. Hinge your torso forward, but try and keep the shoulder heads lifting up away from the mat. A steady gaze, fingertips could come down to the floor just to steady yourself. Eyes down, hands down. We'll take a half flow, step quietly back to downward facing dog. Ripple forward to a high push-up, extending through your spine. And then just hover the knees, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take 5 deep breaths. And at the end of your exhale, gaze forward between your hands. And lightly step or hop forward. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Rise to stand, reset through your body, long, tall and straight. Reach the arms. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, looking forward. And as you exhale onto the fingertips, lunge your left foot back. Set up for runner's lunge, staying low. Left hand down to the floor, right hand to the sky. And keeping your left thigh lifting up in space, your hips as level as you can feel them. Breathing smooth. And taking your right hand down now to the inside of your front foot. Walk your right foot over in the right lane, turn your right toes out. Left knee to the floor, and either taking a mild twist and gentle hip opener here with your right hand, inner right knee, Or reach back and grab a quad stretch. Right hand to your left foot, squeezing your left heel in toward your buttocks. And gently releasing. Reframe your front foot, tuck the back toes, send your right leg up and back, down dog splits. Bend your right knee, take your right heel toward your left buttocks now. Gently flipping the dog. Should feel like a quad stretch here through the top of your right thigh. And then squaring off the hips as you breathe in. Lightly stepping forward, high lunge as you breathe out. Arms rise as you breathe in. Hands to the heart as you breathe out. Keep your weight in your front foot and gently make your way into Warrior 3 with as much balance, alertness as you can muster. Fingertips can come to the floor if you're feeling super wobbly. And particularly toward the end of the class, if your body's fatigued, it's harder to balance. And each side, left to right, is always different as well, so just being patient. And hands to the floor. We're going to step back quietly to downward facing dog. And take a half flow, ripple forward to a high push-up. Hover the knees, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let's do that 2 more times. Ripple forward, high push-up. Hover the knees and roll back to downward facing dog. This time as you come forward to plank, we're going to lower slow all the way down to the mat. And when you arrive there, take your arms alongside your body, forehead to the mat. And if you are a little tweaky in the low back spine, do keep your feet hip width apart there. Otherwise, heels together, knees together. And finding locust pose, your arms float up, legs float up, chest up, ribs forward. And making sure you feel comfortable in your low back. So lower down if it feels like the apex of the curve is just in your lower back. Try and open through the chest. As you breathe out, melt down to the floor and just make a pillow with your hands, one hand on top of the other, and rest a cheek. Let go through the legs and the shoulders, heels turn out. Exaggerate your breath out, clear out. We've just got one more. Coming back to center, arms alongside your body. You can take that variation that we just practiced, or if you have that mobility through your shoulders, interlace your fingers behind your back. And as you breathe in, lifting up, legs engage and lift, kneecaps lift, chest lifts, collarbones smile open, fists draw back, gaze is lightly down, crown of the head reaches forward. Breathe deeply, expand through your ribs. Last little bit of effort. Deep breath in and exhale. Hands down in front of you, rest an ear, opposite side. And relax, heels fall out to the side, legs relax. Shoulders soften. And then taking your hands by your ribs, make your way into child's pose. And it should feel quite comfortable if you take your knees quite wide here and buttocks to the heels. So there is a sense of space around the low back. Those muscles that you've just worked can allow them to extend now and also soften. Let's take another 5 breaths here. I'll be quiet. And making your way up onto all fours. Last downward dog for the class. Stretch up and back. And just sense how open you feel now in your downward dog. Taking in all the feedback from your body. And however you'd like to make your way there, we are going to come down onto our backs. And when you arrive there, just hug the knees in toward your chest. A reclined twist from here. Take your feet to the floor. You can make a twist a little stronger by taking your right leg over the top of your left leg, or you can just keep the knees stacked. So we're going to lift our hips and knees over to your left side and your hips to your right. Arms shift out wide to a T, perhaps palms face up here, and then physically lift your head and turn your gaze away from your knees over to your right fingertips. And then feel free to close your eyes. We're going to be here for about 8 breaths, just to give you time to really drop into the twist, to let go of any gripping in the legs and the hips, and to really wring out through our abdominals, our kidneys, and invite fresh blood circulation into that particular part of our body and our spine. And then with firm abdominal muscles, bringing the knees back up to center and recross your legs. Or keep the knees stacked, lifting the hips and twisting to your opposite side. And really check in, noticing the feedback at the start of your twist, middle of your twist and the end of your twist. Taking another 5 breaths to tune in. And firming the abdominal muscles to help support your low back, coming all the way back up, uncross the legs and tuck the knees in toward your chest. Take a little rock side to side. And we're going to come into happy baby, knees split out wide to the side, catch a hold outer edges of your feet and draw the knees down toward your armpits. And just pause, 5 breaths, find a sustainable, comfortable shape in your body. And gently releasing. So bringing the knees in, cross your feet. Right foot over the top of the left foot and catch a hold of your feet with your fingers. Roll back through your spine. We're just going to roll up to sit. funny way of getting there, all the way up, and you'll have your right shin crossed in front of your left shin, and see if you can cross them right in the middle of the shins and flex your toes. Easy forward fold, arms reach up, breathe in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Arms can shift out wide to the side, don't need to overdo it here. You're just inviting the body to make use of all the warmth that you've created through the class. So your hips and outer hips, and those dense muscles in and around that area can release and relax. But you're also inviting your body to calm down, to feel quiet, preparing for shavasana. And just really slowly walk your hands back and recross the legs with the left shin in front, toes flexed. Reach your arms skywards as you breathe in, and forward fold as you breathe out. And gently, gently walking your hands back and making your way either into seated meditation or resting back in shavasana for the last few minutes of your practice, and perhaps the most important part of your practice. So just spending at the very least the next couple of minutes resting back and landing fully in your body, quietening the mind, and physically releasing will allow you to integrate all the benefits of your practice. And if you're keen on committing to the full hour, we've got another 7 minutes. Shavasana. Aligning yourself so as you relax, your muscles, your bones rest in a symmetrical way. Smooth out any wrinkles in the back body. Make any final adjustments so you can be very still, calm and quiet, except for the movement of your breath. And as your body begins to rest, just start to sense all the twitches, sensations as the muscles relax. The temperature of your skin or different spots in your body feeling warmer or cooler. And then as you linger here, start to notice a sense of ease, receptivity growing, inner presence, feeling of spaciousness. And very slowly just starting to drift your awareness back. Breathe a bright breath into your body to wake yourself up. And bring some movement to your limbs. And when you feel ready, lightly bending your knees, taking your feet to the floor and resting over to one side. And letting your eyes open, inviting the light in and dragging yourself up to come back to sit. And thanks so much for joining class today. I really appreciate all your comments and subscriptions, and I hope you enjoy class today. Namaste, Yogis.